Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Man Them United podcast, where we discuss all things Manchester United. And the main topic of conversation is going to be about the Manchester Derby. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 2. Hold that city. Walk in your trap. Take over your trap. Manchester is red. Amad Diallo, baller. Ruben Amorim dunking on Pep again. Props to the whole team. I've stated this already. I got to give props to the manager first and foremost. One, for dropping Rashford and Garnacho from the squad. Automatically, I stated that. I didn't even see the 11. And as soon as I see that Rashford and Garnacho were not in the squad, I said the lineup is automatically an 8 out of 10. Automatic. Off the jump. I was there. That's why my voice sounds like this. It's still hoarse. It's better than it was yesterday. But that's why my voice is still sounding like this. Yes, Warrior J. So those that don't know, I was there at the Etihad. Scenes in the away end with those 2 goals, man. Especially that Diallo goal, which we'll get to. But what a finish from Diallo. I don't think it's being spoken about enough. Yes, he's being praised for his performance, which was very, very good, because he was our best attacker, in particular in the second half. All the brightest moments and best moments came from him, even outside of him winning the penalty and scoring the goal. But the touch for the goal, quality pass by Lisandro Martinez, and then the touch from Diallo to take it round Edison, quality, and then a good finish. Now, Warrior J, all the man them were about. That's why we didn't do the Yardman show, but we'll be back with that next week. But before I continue talking about the game, people, run up the likes. So whether you're watching this live right now or you're watching this back after the live, hit the like button on the video. Please make sure you share this across all the socials as well. At That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV, at Sarcasm City TV, at That's Me Flawless on Twitter and X. Retweet and like from there. Share from the Instagram. And just as important, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's road to 14K. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell as well when you do so. And get your questions in. Like I said, please just keep them Manchester United related. Make sure you do. And big up to Warrior J, as always, putting information in the chat. And we're going to talk about this derby win. We're going to continue. Big up to Kingsman. Big up Malusi. Big up ND as well. Casper, good to see you in the chat. African Cat K as well. Hey, Jago, good to see you, man. Big up CFC. CFC Musty as well. Big up to you as well, man. Shouts to everyone currently tapped in. And like I was saying again, props to Amorim, because everyone wanted to. I seen people in the watch along chat, see people in the YouTube chat, in the playback chat, on social media complaining about the lineup. It was a good lineup. It was a good lineup, people. Just off the fact that Rashford and Garnacho were not in the squad, it was a good lineup. People have came up with all types of excuses for those 2 and other players, and Satan's favorite soldier, the last manager. All players can't be dropped because they've got it in their contract. No manager worth anything is going to have a team where he can't drop players. They're not going to sign it. Managers are smart people. They are not going to be handicapped like, oh, you must play such and such. No. And we seen that because he dropped Rashford and Garnacho from the squad entirely, not to the bench, from the squad. And it's not like we have big superstars on the bench. It's not like the bench was stacked. Of course, you got Maino, you got Casemiro, there's quality there, but it's not like our attackers, like we have some quality youth players coming through. Or there's some star-studded players that you go, whoa. But he dropped them from the squad completely. He had enough. So everyone who was like, oh, he likes Garnacho and he likes Rashford, well, that man was at home. And don't get misunderstood, they're going to play again. And he said as much after the game. Tomorrow's a new day. They're going to play again. Big up to Citeh as well. And big up Israel, South Africa in the house. Big up all my South Africans in the house, man. Big up wherever you're watching from in the world. But yeah, he dropped them from the squad completely. And knows that them performances are unacceptable. Rashford against Victoria Pilsen, performance unacceptable. Garnacho away at Arsenal, at home to Nottingham Forest, unacceptable. And he had enough. That's why he dropped him from the squad completely. And then as for the lineup, there isn't an 11 I particularly like overall, but it all made sense. we've all been talking about wanting to see Diallo in the 10. And actually, with dropping Rashford and Garnacho, he's dropped them in a massive game. This is not 3 p.m. at home to Brentford. This isn't away to a Victoria Pilsen or home to Bodo Glint or away to Southampton. Manchester Derby, all eyes on it, his first, having lost the previous 2 Premier League games, and he's dropped them both. It's a big statement. We all wanted to see Diallo in the 10. We've seen him in the 10. Maino got on because of the mount injury. Maino's playing high up. Wanted to see Mazarari play right wing back. He played him right wing back. I don't understand the complaints. Did I particularly want to see the likes of Bruno and Mount in there? No. But even if he plays Maino in there, I would have preferred to have seen Maino and Casemiro. But the manager has set out his stall and is backing the manager. But people just want to crash it on him for whatever reason. But he got the lineup right. And defensively, we was on point. As we have been, that game pretty much mirrored how our games have been going. That's how you know the system is systeming. And big up to Eddie in the cut as well. Yes, Eddie, what are you saying, fam? You good?
Brother. Am I good is an understatement, man. People, you can see by the title. Walk in your trap, take over your trap, hold that city. How you like
Oh,
that, man? How you like
God.
that? It's beautiful. It's beautiful cities. And then people out here getting that WhatsApp message that they ain't gonna make it, huh?
Yeah, facts.
it's
Facts. And Zia
love,
says you're
man.
welcome for Maz and Delit. Yeah, they were quality again. Both Mazarari and Delit playing right side and centre. Maguire, as much as we criticize him, quality, pocketed Haaland, bullied him, pocketed him. Martinez, even
Uh,
outside of the pass for the goal, which was a quality pass, solid defensively. Delhomme, not good going forward, but defensively got it done as well. Agate,
mhm.
that people have wanted to write off, all of a sudden looks like you put him in a system, looks like a decent player, has his uses.
Brother.
And he was the one who
Oof.
started the goal. He started the attack for the second goal. Yeah,
Little
go on.
back heel, little back heel action. Now I'm interested in your perspective because you was there, so I'm trying to hear what how that was, man, and just what the atmosphere was like.
Yeah, yo, so that place was rocket. So as soon as I've walked in, City fans is mad close. Like I'm like, yeah, the security between us, but they like 10 yards away. So anyone who's been away at the Etihad will know this if you haven't. Say, like I said, I was pitch level. So I'm lowest tier, I'm pitch level. But you see where Onana was celebrating and he was where in front of all the away fans. I was literally in that stand there, but I was right at the back. So I'm pitch level. So man could see everything that's going on. So as soon as I walked in, I just heard the United fans in full voice saying, "You cheating bastards! We know what you are." I was like, "Ah, yeah, we on the derby." So
You're in
they
the
giving
right
us shit,
place, I'm in the right place.
right place. We giving them shit. They giving us shit the whole time. First half was kind of even and kind of dry. There wasn't really much goal action either way. Onana wasn't really making save after save and didn't look dangerous. I mean, City didn't look dangerous. Edison
Mhm.
wasn't making save after save, and we didn't look dangerous. And then we're keeping the ball, and it's more of everything I've been saying about Manchester United under Amarim. I seen it in real time, in real life, right in front of me. In regards to defensively solid, we keep the ball well. We just don't have enough quality going forward and never troubled them. I was like, oh, this is going to be one of them games. So it's kind of like it's a passing session for those that I've seen. For those that have played football, you know, where you have the games and it's like, oh, first team to 20 passes gets a goal. That's what it was kind of like. There was not really any intent or any purpose with us going forward. And that was a surprise, but it's disappointing. Then they get
Sounds
the
like a
goal.
normal day at the Emirates. But continue.
Yeah. It sounds like a day at the Emirates. Absolutely. Big up Ivorian in the cut as well. Yes,
Good.
Ivorian. What you saying, man? You good?
Not much, man. I'm good, man. What you man saying, bro?
Blessings.
Big
Blessings.
up to
So
everyone.
there you go. Make sure you lot
My
subscribe to Red United TV so then they get the goal. So yeah, it's more of just passing and just no intent. And I'm like, damn. Like in particular, the low, because where I was, the left hand side is right in front of me. So the lows getting up and down the line, getting into good situations, but you just got no back. You know what I'm saying? You just got no tricks. There was nothing. So then they scored a goal, and you're like, damn, that's all they've done. And you 1-0 down, and it's like, fuck. All right, so it's halftime, we 1-0 down, but we still in the game, even though at that point I'm thinking we can do something, but we need to step it up. And you know what? To the players' credit, in the second half, we did step up because we were the better side. We was clearly the better side in the second half. It wasn't free flowing football. It wasn't fantastic. You know what I'm saying? But we was the better side. And one thing we did is we looked more threatening. Like Diallo, Maino, Mazarari on that right hand side, even though it was down the other end, they was linking up. And they had multiple moments. Like there was a time where Diallo's took a heavy touch, similar to the goal to try and get past someone, but Edison's got there. But I'm like, all right, we can get back into this. And we start looking more threatening. I couldn't see, because it was down the other end, I couldn't see the challenge on Hoyland. Obviously, we cheered for it like we could see it, but then my Don's on socials and everyone's saying it's a penalty. It was a clear penalty. Without doubt, it's a clear penalty. Obviously, the City fans still mad rowdy next to us, mad rowdy both sides. It's still a mazzo. And then, so the penalty don't get given. Yo, the Bruno chance when he tried to dink the goalkeeper, felt like that shit went in slow motion past the post. I'm telling you now, he's gone through. We've all seen it. Everybody's gasped at the same time as he's going through on goal. He's dinked the keeper, and we've seen it go wide. And I think the old guy next to me, there was an old guy who was next to me, was finished. You know what I'm saying? That hands on the railings. He's like, I can't do this, mate. I was like, don't worry, man. You'll be all right. But when Bruno's missed that, I'm not gonna lie, it felt like it was done from there. Once Bruno, because he had the yellow header before that, I could only speak for me, but like when Bruno missed that, it seemed that way in the stand as well. That I was in that, we're not getting back into this. It's not our day, because we had the Diallo header, you got the Hoyland penalty we should have had, and then you've got the miss from Bruno, and you're like, oh, this Bruno guy, like how you gonna miss 1-on-1? Because we don't create like that. So the fact we're creating chances is a good thing, and then the Diallo, obviously the mistake from Nunes, Diallo gets the penalty. Lord of mercy there. And again, the tension with Bruno stepping up to take that penalty. I had my arm on my G who I was with. He was like this praying, you know what I'm saying? And then when Bruno bagged, scenes, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up next to people who were even around me before that. It was mad, you know what I'm saying? The way they limbs. Mad people around me, you know what I'm saying? Make sure I don't have to drop my phone and stand up, man standing on chairs, all types of shit, giving the City fan stick. I was saying that's probably where I lost my voice sounds like this, because they was giving us shit for time. So like once they scored, because they went quiet when that went in. And as soon as we scored that, I thought, yeah, we're winning this game. Soon as Bruno bagged that pen, we were in the ascendancy. It's like, we're gonna score. We got, because obviously Onana's down our end now. City ain't offering nothing. They offering nothing. And then when Martinez gets the ball, and then I can still vision it now, yo. When Diallo went past Edison and that, and we see it, and he takes the shot, and he go, pandemonium, people, man. Pandemonium. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could just replay it. I wish I could just replay that moment over and over and over again. And then that's when the City fan, because then they went silent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they started leaving, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like just giving them more shit. It was great. So that was pretty much the thoughts. And then obviously they kept us in the ground for like 45 minutes afterwards, because it was a Mazda outside, and we were singing as they was leaving. We were singing as they left. I said that's why in that video I sound like the way I do. And I said my voice is coming back a bit now, but yeah, that's the biggest compliment I can pay the team and the manager, in my opinion. Not only did we win the game, it was a deserved win, in my opinion. We're the better team. I'd say first half fairly equal, yes. But second half, we battered them. We might not have peppered Edison's goal, but he ain't gonna pepper goals like that against a teams of certain skill level. But we was the better side. Because if City had done that to us, all you would have heard was about how poor we was and how they were the better side. Deserve victory away from home. I love the Sunshine every single time. Love Sunshine. Appreciate it.
Shout out to Sunshine.
Shouts to Sunshine. Big up Sheik as well in the cup. So yeah, that's what it was. Mazza Eddie. That's all I can say.
That's love, bro. I'm happy you got to experience that, man. It was on stream. It was just, I couldn't even put into words what we were seeing, dog. Like from that minute 88 to 90, it's just, I don't think I'll ever. There's one. I said on stream. There's one guy who's put on a performance like that, where it's just takeover mode. Labille. When Labille did what he did to keep them from winning the title on that day, that's the last time I've seen anybody really put in a performance like that, man.
Yeah.
It was it's amazing to think about how far, not even how far we've come, but just how much a manager makes the difference. Because
Absolutely.
I don't think I've ever seen us fight like that, man.
Yeah,
I've
that's it.
never seen them scrap like that in the longest time, man. It was, yeah. I'm still shocked over it. I can't even. I'm still having a hard time processing what went down. You
You know
know, it
why? Because
was
we actually
just,
have a manager, Eddie. It's amazing what actually having a good manager does. That's the craziest
oh,
part. Despite,
crazy.
despite, um, despite lack of quality in regards to overall, just putting players in the system, and you see the difference. And yeah, we batted eye test and stat test. We kicked their ass with everything, everything.
Mhm.
That's why I don't
Mhm.
understand when people say, "Oh, we weren't the better side." We deserved the win. Like even when Bruno scored, I felt normally we go away to a big six ground. A draw's a good result. Normally, I'm like accepting of it. Like, all right, we didn't win the game, but we drew. But I felt
Mhm.
aggrieved. As the time's ticking down, even though I thought we'd go on and win the game, I'm like, if we draw this, I genuinely feel aggrieved, which is rare, and which is credit again to the team and the manager. So I just gotta give the manager and that prop sheet. So what you saying, man? You good first and foremost.
Yeah, bro, I'm doing great. I'm still obviously recovering from what a sensational weekend that we had. Also, shout out to you for letting me host a watch along on Sarcasm
Well,
City TV. I will never forget this watch along ever. It's like the best watch along I've ever hosted myself. So, yeah, man, it was
Man.
like you said. It was Eddie was there, YG was there, Jez was there. It was absolute limbs. Like it was just limbs at the end. I had no idea what I was saying. I don't even remember how I closed out the watch along. I was probably just yapping. Like we were all just like happy, man. And yeah, it's more so like look at all the stuff that we've been through in the past like couple of seasons as a team, as a club, and to get a victory like that in his first ever derby. I mean, yeah, man, this should be a huge confidence boost for not only the manager but for the players too, because he's able to get a win like this. And I know like City, sure, like they're not in their best form, 1-11, all of that type of stuff, but whenever it comes to games like this, I don't even look at the opponent, I look at ourselves. and
mm,
and same thing, like for what you said, second half we looked like we deserved to get something from that game. Had we even lost 1-0, I still would have sat here and been like, yo, I actually am impressed with the performance that we put out in the second half because we went for it. He didn't make a lot of changes like right away in the second half as he usually does. I think he brought his players on around like the 70th minute or whatever, but impact made a change,
mm,
ended up equalizing, even though it was a mistake from Nunes he didn't have to make. But at that point onwards, like we were turning on the jets. We were throwing the kitchen sink. We were trying everything that we could do at that moment. And Abad Diallo, like I don't think I need to say anything about this guy anymore. It's a shame that our previous manager was, playing players like Garnacho over him. And yeah, like talk about taking the game by the scruff of the neck. All game he was exceptional. Every single minute of the game, he looked like our best attacking threat. He was beating players. He was dropping back in the wing back position too at times. Like he was everywhere. And that goal that he scored at the end is just credit to also his effort, like the will, the thrive to win the game, to play for the ball. Because we have Rasmus Højlund who plays up front, who would never make that run. Let's just be honest. He would
yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
never make that run. So
Trust me.
Amad Diallo was all by himself there. Hey, he scored the goal. Happy days. We get the win. Um, Performance wise, like if you want to talk about I didn't think the first half was a great performance, to be honest, but
Mhm.
who cares? Because we controlled them. We kind of did the same thing against Arsenal, except we actually won in the second half. But Arsenal, we did the same thing. Like we sat back a little. Defensively, we were much better in the first half, but going forward was still lacking a little bit. But yeah, second half we came out with intent, and I did a show yesterday with Vader Flawless, and he's gonna argue you and tell you that we didn't dominate the game, because I had that argument with him yesterday, because I
Mhm.
tried to tell him that we had the better chances, the bigger chances in the game. I'm even right now sitting here thinking of what was the big chance that City had, because we had the Bruno one-on-one, which you can still consider a big chance, even though technically it didn't result in a shot on target. Ahmad had the header. Ahmad also had a chance in the first half, which was offside, and he missed. But we were creating. It's not like we weren't
Mhm.
looking for. There were times where, yes, the game was like, I'm not gonna lie, the game was dead at times when both teams were just kind of passing the ball around. But it's not like we didn't try to go for it, and we did. And I think we'll talk a little bit about City too, because I think that game, like I haven't really been watching Manchester City games like that, but that game honestly showed me a lot about the problems that they have in their team as well. Like they had a lot of, their players on the pitch talking about like Holland, De Bruyne, all these guys, and they were super super quiet. And we had man like Maguire at the back, So a lot to be talked about for City. In terms of us, though, like I said, I think this should be a huge confidence boost. Like our
Absolutely.
next game, we go to Spurs, which is going to be, like people say it or not, is going to be a tough away game. But this is great confidence going into that game. I mean, think about the fact that had we lost this, we would have lost 3 games in a row in the Premier League, and we would be having. I mean, I wouldn't be having conversations about the manager or so, but we'd be talking about like, oh, look at this run that we're pretty much in. But now we're going into this game with a little bit of confidence. I know Eddie's gonna like this a lot, but I need to give a shout out to Ante. I'm not even gonna lie, because this is now the second game where he's brought on and we've won. This is the second game that he's been brought on as a sub and we've won it. So yeah, man. I'm over the moon. Like I said, I'm so celebrated. I've watched Ahmad's goal probably like a million times already. But yeah, man, happy days. We win the derby. And Ruben Amorim, man, my manager, man, he doing things that certain manager at Arsenal couldn't do for 6 years. Beat Pep at the Etihad. This guy's done it twice. This guy's beaten Pep twice in a season, with 2 different clubs. So yeah, man, it is what it is. But happy days, man. We like I said, when was the last time we beat away a Big Six?
Been a strong minute.
Under Ollie. Yeah, it was under Ollie at when we played Spurs. So yeah, man. Look, the job that a manager could do just coming into a team, crazy.
Strong,
and people told us we were crazy about that. So,
and before we continue, run up the likes, people. Over 80 of you in the building. Let's get up to 70 likes, people. Like check 1 2 1 2. Like check 1 2 1 2. Hit that like button, people. Ivorian, I think you're back. Are you back with us, Ivorian?
Yeah. I've been having some madness with my mic and everything. Like, can you guys hear me properly?
It's calm. Yeah, you can hear you clear, man. Hey, your thoughts on the game, because we haven't spoken. So your thoughts.
First of all, shout out to Ruben Amorim.
Look how happy Ivorian is, people.
I'm telling you, I got a haircut and everything, bro.
Look at the joy, I got a fresh trim. Looking fresh.
I got my Manchester Derby pre-ritual. I got a fresh trim before the match. I mean, before the watch along. Prayed a couple of times. Done a couple of fasting, because we all went into that. Well, I went into that game thinking, yeah, it's going to be a tough one because it's the Manchester Derby. Yes, City's been shit, but we're also shit as well. And if there's going to be any team that City gets to play and get their confidence back, it will be us, right? You thought that, yeah, it will be us. But what a match. The first 45 minutes, let me start off with the starting lineup, because I'm sure everyone was in the same thinking of me when we first saw Maguire in that starting lineup. Was thinking, oh, really? Maguire in this type of game? I mean, what are you doing? Where is Lenny Euro? But I do apologize to Harry Maguire, because he had an exceptional game against Haaland.
To say that he played very well, because if he had a bad game, we'd be here criticizing him heavily, and rightfully so. I don't care if Haaland's out of form or whatever. Bullied him. Played as did the whole back three from a defensive standpoint. But hey, shouts to Maguire, and it's amazing. Hey, he's squad player used as a squad player, and he actually looks all right. You would have thought. I'm saying, not playing in 5, 10, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. But hey, go on, carry on.
A shout out to Maguire, but he can still go though. We don't really care.
Oh yeah, of course, because it's the system team. Absolutely.
But the first 45 minutes, I thought we was poor. The reason why we was poor is because defensively we was solid. We were structured well. Midfield as well. We tried to retain possession, but of course, when you play a team like Manchester City, you're going to lose that possession. But the problem was full up front. Nobody had anything going for us apart from Ahmed Diallo. Højlund, as much as he tried to battle, win aerial duels, drop deep as well, it just wasn't good enough. Mason Mount, 10 minutes of his best, and then his muscles collapse. And then there it goes. Again, we all back to saying Mason Mount, why did we sign him? It's got to the point where I feel sorry for him. Like it's not nice anymore. It's no longer funny. I can't take the piss out of him no more. It's sad. It's sad. But with the substitution came on, he made the changes. When we conceded a goal, I'm there thinking we will still have post-match stress disorder from conceding from corners. That Arsenal game really letting a mark and a scar towards us, because we're still vulnerable when it comes to set pieces. But One thing I have to say, the game I saw against Arsenal and the game I saw against Manchester City, I saw something, and that was control in game.
Mhm.
Control, which we've never seen before. We're in the game. Like, we're not out the game. We're still in the game. We are toe to toe with the team. We at times when we have the ball, we look like we're about to do something, but that's a work in progress. But the fact that we can go toe to toe with these type of teams in those two games that I saw is progress. The second half, when it was 1-0 down, we're thinking, all right, it could be City's, not another game, not another day where it's a Sunday we lose to Manchester City. The changes came in. He made the changes. Brilliant from Amarin, because bringing on Anthony, bringing on Xerxes, and also bringing on Lenny Euro made the difference. Ahmed Diallo, my Ivorian brother, I cannot be any more proud.
Oh yeah, you can't
Be
be.
Ivorian.
You must be. Yeah.
I doubted you, bro. I was against. I didn't believe in you.
Yeah, you didn't believe. I can't believe
I
you didn't
did
believe.
not believe in you, bro. I
You
should
didn't
go
believe.
prison. I should go prison for this type of stuff. I apologize. If you see this video, I'm so sorry. Désolé, mon frère. Désolé. That's the only way you can understand how truly sorry I am. But the magnificent performance for Ahmed Diallo, the ability to cause that penalty, win that penalty, and Nunes, I don't know what you was thinking. The guy was like coming to kick me. He had a kick me sign. Ahmed Diallo had a kick me sign for that pussy, bro. He just went for it. He went for it.
Deal with him. Yeah. Couldn't deal with him.
He went for it.
Yeah.
And then winning that penalty, we sat there. Bruno steps up. You're like thinking, Bruno, you've been playing shit throughout the whole entire game. Let's be real. But you better score this one.
Mm-hmm.
He delivered. He delivered where he does best. Bruno Fernandes, as they call him, he delivered.
Fire celebration, I can't lie. The celebration
celebration was cold, man. It was cold. I loved it. And then the winning goal.
Big up Lex as well.
Hats up to Martinez. But before we even say hats up to Martinez, Manuel Ugarte, if you guys never saw it, I want you guys to rewatch that second goal, that winning goal by Ahmed Diallo. And you see Ugarte, when he gave that ball to Martinez, he was screening. He looked behind him. He saw Ahmed Diallo making that run. He told Martinez, flick the ball over. He instructed him. Martinez saw that. Guys, go and rewatch the match. Rewatch the match, rewatch that goal. And then Martinez with that brilliant ball to find Ahmed Diallo, Ahmed Diallo making those runs and curves are confusing, man. And the touch in mid-air, and then after the bounce, and then to finish it off, big ups to him. But all I say, congratulations to Kyle Walker, Oscar performance, a BAFTA award-winning performance for that dive. You fool, you donkey.
Because that was where I was. I thought, obviously, because there's no replay. I thought Højlund's getting sent off. He tried to con it. I thought Højlund headbutted him. I was like, that's not even Højlund's type of game. Højlund don't even do that type of thing.
It's embarrassing. You see, once a cheat, always a cheat. A cheat off the pitch and a cheat on the pitch as well, bro. Kyle Walker, you make me sick, man. But it was enjoyable. The performance, I would say, yes, a lot of work in progress. But I can take it. I can take the result. But we have to improve on our finishing. We have to improve on getting better going forward as well. We can't just rely on Ahmed Diallo. There's a lot to work on. And the midfield needs to do a bit more better in this type of game. But the defense, there is a structure there. There's organization. I'm happy. And big up Ruben Amorim. He didn't even celebrate too tough. He knows there's a lot of work in progress. But I love the way he celebrated the second goal. Just like, yes, we got that goal. But yeah, we can always improve. But Ugarte, big up to you as well, man. One midfield. I think PSG made a mistake, and we're gonna enjoy this because the fact that we've got someone that can just run, got the energy, hounds you, doesn't let you breathe at all. Just on your case, 24/7. You're like, yo, what's the problem? Like, when did we have problems? When did we have beef? That's the situation that you're in as an opposition playing against Ugarte. To the fact that you gotta have to report him to the feds for harassment because it's too much. It's too much. He's on smoke, bro. But I'm happy, man. Derby Day, Etihad, we don't go there and win, but we got that win. We don't.
We don't go there and win. Nah, you smart.
And to those scrubs, Marcus Rashford.
Hey,
that's what I gotta say. That's what I gotta say.
Good, my boy. We getting good.
That's all I can say. I'm done. Over to you, man.
Yours, Eddie.
I got to give the manager so much credit for this one reason alone. Because we talked about this. We talked about it whether it was Ollie or Ten Hag.
Mhm.
These players are not as bad as these managers are making them out to be.
True.
And when you actually get a manager who understands what the principal job responsibility of a football manager is, which is to maximize strengths and minimize deficiencies, you get performances like you do from a Harry Maguire. I have never, for the life of me, seen Harry Maguire play like this. Never.
Seriously though, yeah, seriously.
I have
100%.
never
He's our
Eddie,
best.
seen
He was our
100%
best
tackle,
defender.
100% duels, 100%. You've never
Yo, I
seen this
see
type
man
of.
slight. Yo, it was. I
No,
see man all
100%.
controlled and all that. It was. It was
He's
He's
bad.
literally
twerking for
our
that
best
contract.
defender.
Eddie, he's
it's
twerking for
crazy.
the contract.
It's cool, and you know what it is? It's like I'm not mad. I'm really not mad if he sticks around. Like that's what this manager has done. Now, will we improve in the options that we get before him? Like I don't want to see Maguire out there all the time, but I have to give him credit. I can't make this a session where I'm just going, slyly give him some credit. No, he played his ass off now. And to be the nuisance he was to a Holland and to have everybody in unison doing that, it's just it's beautiful to see. And the best part is that's one of those performances you build on. Any other team, right? If this had, I don't know, like if we had lost the way we had lost to Arsenal, right? I would have seen us go on a streak of losses. It would have been
Mm,
nothing to me because I would have expected it.
mm,
But again, it's just the fight and composure that this manager has brought to the club. You
mm,
cannot put a price tag on it, man. You really can't. From
mm.
Ahmad to even Hoyland. To what's crazy about the penalty?
Go on.
We've gone to that kind of goal scoring situation multiple times since this manager has been here.
Mm.
His press trigger is so consistent, and the players just know when to press. That Ahmad getting that penalty, it mirrors how I think it was Hoyland got to that goalie when he was trying to play that pass. I think it was it the
Yeah,
Bodo Glick game?
I remember you talking about. He did run onto a back pass, didn't he? He did.
Yeah, it was the
You know
same
what? He
thing.
almost got onto one in that game against City. He almost in the City game, but there was enough on it and it got back to Edison. But go on, carry on.
The consistency is amazing, man.
Mm.
It really is. Like we finally got the manager. I am like Ten Hag didn't have me like this much down for the cause. Like this is different, man. It really is. So man, and then we'll speak on the two scrubs. Dumb and Dumber, Ren and
Yeah, we'll get to
Stimpy.
that.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll speak
speak
on
on
that.
them later. Because
Definitely.
right now, what we have to do is just appreciate all the players who took a moment to perform on that pitch. So, Ugarte, I'm gonna give a shout out to Ahmad, of course, even Hoyland. If you're gonna be a try hard that way. Get Walker to do that type of, I want to say, 2B level acting. Get him to do
Mm.
that, right? Shout out to Martinez distribution wise, where he needed to be. We all thought he could be. Um, the lit solid. Dalot solid, but again, I'm even for me. I think I said it during the stream. The low wingback era has hopefully ended.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
can't.
I hear you on
He,
that.
he can play. He can play one of the center
So
back
bad.
positions, but
It was so bad that game.
the
Yeah.
wing back and he's been my dog. It's done for. It's done for.
Mm.
Bruno just out there running around. It is what it is. I'm showing love. I'm not trying to focus on you right now, so we'll move to somebody else. But yeah, just the performances were so dope, man. It really
Mm.
was.
It was. And big up big up Lewis in the chat as well. Shouts to Lewis every single time. Alex asked, I see you about win streak. That's and we'll get to that later on in the live stream. But yeah, like United, I've got to kick on Spurs on Thursday, which we'll discuss and get predictions from all the man them, and same to the Bournemouth game the Sunday as well. It is about kicking on, get through to the semi-final, and then get 3 points. Because even though, as someone's mentioned, oh, we're still 13th, the table is tight, and this has been my whole point the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the table is tight, so you can still go and finish. Do I think Manchester United can finish top 4? No. Do I think we can finish top 6? Absolutely. I think we're 3 points of 6 now. 3 points. That's it. We play Bournemouth, who are above us, and there's games thick and fast over the Christmas period as well. And yeah, Bruno wasn't the best, but Bruno always gonna do that. But it's more like I say, focusing on the positives. And big up to you lot in the chat, because obviously there is news coming out, plenty of information as always with Manchester United. United are close to agreeing a new long-term contract with Ahmad. It's expected to be announced before the end of the year, and all parties are very happy. That's from Rob Dawson, ESPN. Manchester United are ready to listen to offers for Rashford in January. Sources say that the Bundesliga would become an option if they were prepared to consider a loan move, with similar to Sancho's with Dortmund last season. That's from Mark Oden _ Ruben Amorim decided Marcus Rashford needs to leave Manchester United in a push to engineer a shift in the culture throughout the club for football and non-football staff. That's from Jamie Jackson _ Saying I've mentioned this and spoken this, but Gamer TV says here Marcus Rashford is reluctant to leave Manchester United as he harbors hopes of earning an England recall for the 2026 World Cup. And I've said it's World Cup year coming up next year. Players are going to want to play. It's the time to get rid of players. You let players know, hey, you are not going to play. They are going to engineer moves away because they want to be at the World Cup. Atletico Madrid have identified Manchester United. I don't know about that source. I can't pronounce it, but big up Gamer TV again. I would say I'm not sure, but hey, they signed Conor Gallagher, so there's hope. There's hope.
Yeah, there you go.
They signed Conor Gallagher, man. There's hope. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
We signed Mason Mount.
They can take him.
Arsenal signed Kai Havertz. There's hope. There is hope.
There's
Saudi Arabia side, Al Etihad have been put on alert about Marcus Rashford's availability. Manchester United remain in contact with Victor Osimhen ahead of potential move. That's from Caught Offside. The one about the Saudi side in for Rashford. That's from Talk Sport. And then on Maguire on contract, talking about his contract, which is due to expire in June. All the signs are positive at the moment, and the chat that I'm having is really positive. I haven't really thought about it. I've still got a year to go with an option in their hands. So he has a year extension, so he's not. He has a year extension.
Get him on lower wages. I don't have a problem.
Yeah, but in regards to it, what's that with Marcus Rashford? We'll go to you, Sheik.
Yeah.
Thoughts on him being dropped from the squad, and now obviously rumors were already strong about him leaving, but now being left out of the squad, it shows that you are clearly not in the manager's plans at this moment in time. So thoughts and rumors and him being left out and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on Marcus Rashford at Manchester United, like I've pretty much said for a while now, that he's just not good enough. He's very inconsistent. What's interesting to see is that one of the first few reports that we heard when Ruben Amorim was coming to United was Rashford's going to be our 9. Ruben selected Rashford to be our 9. So it's not this type of thing that Ruben Amorim hasn't tried to experiment Rashford, or he's given him the opportunity to okay, find your place in this team, maybe try to get back in form. And he did. He scored in that first game too, but the past couple of games that we've seen, like it's not just his normal performance where there's a little bit of whatever he does. Maybe he gets a goal or something like that. It was absolutely terrible. Like I'm talking about zero. There's nothing that he does in the game. It's almost like his side of the pitch is non-existent. And it's interesting to see because I've read online, and it's something that people have pointed out. After the FA Cup final, Rashford was like in tears. And people have been saying that this thing has been brewing, like this decision to sell Rashford has been brewing pretty much since the summer. He thought at that moment that it was it. Maybe that's why he was really emotional in the FA Cup final, because there were talks at that time to get rid of Rashford. There's also, I've heard that maybe he's been kind of not necessarily like begging them. That's what they used online, but more so he's been asking them or been asking for a chance to stay. Now Ruben Amorim to make this decision in 3 weeks, because he was your striker. He was your number 9 that you decided to play in the first game against Ipswich. And now so quickly he's come to the decision that I just don't need this guy anymore. I feel like there's definitely things that he's seen in training It has to be something about like his. Again, we're talking about this again, but it feels like there's something about his attitude that Ruben Amorim has seen. Maybe he seems like the one player who's not um for the cause like the rest of the team in terms of performances and just how he's playing. And yeah, just how whatever he offers on the pitch as well. I think that's the most important thing to talk about Marcus Rashford. This guy is someone that he was supposed to be the next person for us, you know, when he first came up in against Arsenal or in that Europa League game. He's been through, if we keep it a buck, he's been through a lot of managers who've tried to help him and could have molded him to be a very good player. The likes of like Mourinho, the likes of like Van Gaal. So he's had all these different managers to try to help him, and it's always been the same conversation about Marcus Rashford. And I think a move for him personally too is best just for his own sanity, because like this is just going to continue where he's going to stay here. He's probably not going to play well, and it's going to become a thing where even the fans who do back you are going to turn against you because they're just going to see that there's no space for you in the squad at all. And yeah, that's really it. I think a move for him is perfect. I've been saying this. We should have got rid of him like while ago when PSG came asking, should have just taken the cash then and should have gotten another left winger that we could have developed up until now. But it is what it is. Credit to Emrim for making the ruthless decision right before a derby, dropping both Garnacho and Rashford. And yeah, like it ended up resulting into a win. And now a day after, we're hearing that he could be possibly sold in January. So they're completely done with him. That's what I can kind of tell from this whole situation. And it looks like they're honestly they're almost willing to accept any offer at this point. So yeah, I mean, this experiment's over. This whole culture shift that I guess they're talking about, there's more scrubs at the club that we still have to get rid of. So I say two down. I say two down. We still have like 2 more to go or 3 more to go. But good. This is something that I actually said when Amorim joined, that I wanted to kind of see phasing out of players. And I think this is what's happening. I talked to you about this, Flawless, about a little bit about Garnacho. I mentioned how he was the only player who didn't post anything on social media about us winning in the derby. Luke Shaw did. He's injured. Rashford was dropped like Garnacho too. He's injured. So I feel like this is the phasing out of these players. Like Ruben Amorim, in this short amount of time, I hope is just done with these guys. And that's what I wanted. He's seeing who are, the players that I should try to build this team around, build this attack around. And these are options that he's willing to trust at this moment, because again, we've talked about his situation. He has to get results, even though we are kind of looking at like performances to an extent, but we're also looking at him to deliver results. So yeah, pressure is always on for him, and he needs guys that he can trust. And it looks like Rashford and Garnacho are 2 guys that he doesn't trust. So that's
absolutely. No, I hear that. Hey, big up to Casper as well for joining the membership. Shout out to Casper, man. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment. Make sure you subscribe to Chic TV, subscribe to Red United TV as well. I'm going to add both links in the title in a second, but they're both underneath in the description anyway, and on the featured channel page. Ivorian, your thoughts on this Rashford news moving away? Same with Garnacho, obviously both being linked with moves away and both being dropped from the squad as well.
First of all, shout out to my manager. I didn't know he was a Kendrick fan, because during that press conference, he was reciting some lyrics. He basically said, I hate the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you train. Bro, that's what he basically said.
Yeah, he did.
But man, in regards to the whole Rashford situation, it's about you know how I feel about Marcus Rashford.
Absolutely.
I've been done from long time ago. I said that we have to move this guy on because he's just not it. And Rashford hasn't been it. Rashford's been through so many managers and still hasn't shown any sign of improvement. This particular season, he's played for 3 different managers and has shown the same performance, which is just default factory setting of just being bang average, Bang average. Yeah, people was saying, oh, he was going to be playing up front. You get the best out of Marcus Rashford if he plays up front. And I was questioning them, saying, have you ever seen Marcus Rashford up front? You're talking about the same Marcus Rashford that can't even add 1 + 1 to make 2. It makes things so difficult in terms of decision making. The person that we called Rash Bandicoot, for a particular reason, Marcus Rashford, you're telling me the guy that can't even head the ball, closes his eyes when he heads the ball, in terms of interplay, poor. You're telling me you'll get the best out of him playing forward when he's even poor playing on the left wing.
Back.
No stress, Belly. No stress. Carry on. Carry on.
So enough. So when it comes to Marcus Rashford and his future, it's about time. It's about time Manchester United pull him up for sale. And it shows me that they're serious about becoming a serious football club, identifying players who are not earning or playing to their wages at all. And he hasn't been playing to his wages. He's one of the highest paid players in the football club, and he's been underperforming for more than 18 months. More than 18 months, yeah. Whether he has a woman by his side or not, it means absolutely nothing, because he has a new one, still hasn't performed as well. It means absolutely nothing. So again, the fact that he's linked away from the club, and I'm hoping it's January so we can free some cash and eventually fund it to bring in someone else who is far more competent than Marcus Rashford, who can play at the level that we want, who shows the same desire, the same passion as Ahmed Diallo, the same tenacity as Ahmed Diallo. Because Marcus Rashford, it's time for him to move on, and it has to be soon. Like, I don't care what's going on with him no more. I'm about my football club. I'm about business, nothing personal. It's about business right now. Manchester United need to get back to being great again. And with players like Marcus Rashford, we cannot. Alejandro Garnacho is a different story, because he's still young. He's still got a lot to learn. Everyone's has their reserve judgment on him. Yes, he is not that good. He's basically a sub player. He's meant to be coming on and learning his traits and improving. But no, he's been put straight in the starting lineup, and he's been playing. And as well, he's been delivering far better than Marcus Rashford in terms of output. Like, if you gave me an option and you told me to choose between them two, yeah, I'm choosing Garnacho, and I'm telling Rashford, you can go, bro, because you haven't really given us anything in this past 18 months. Whereas Garnacho has. Garnacho as well needs to understand, and I said it before with young players, you haven't made it yet. You're 20 or 20 years old. You have not made it yet as a Manchester United player. Yeah, you're still learning your trade. So you should remain and stay humble and learn from your elders. Listen to people like Bruno Fernandes, which I wouldn't really advise you to listen to, but listen to someone like Johnny Evans, who's been there and won it and done it as well. And I'm trying to think of any other players or senior players who are successful. Maybe Delip, maybe Mazraoui from their careers.
Yeah, you can put Mazraoui and Delite in there, because they've actually played at the highest level and won league titles in major European leagues.
And possibly Onana as well. Onana has won things. But apart from that, yeah, listen to those guys who've done in life and told them, be humble as a young player, you play for Manchester United, one of the biggest club. You've got a big following, a big fan base. Don't let it get ahead to you, man. Like, I didn't like the fact that when he scored that goal and he didn't celebrate, I was like, who the hell do you think you are? And people tell me, oh, yeah, a different era, Ivor and Spice, like people's mentality are different and all that kind of stuff. You can't tell players that they need to improve right in front of their face. Yes, you can. You earn a lot of money. You're in the media. We pay to watch you play. You're going to listen to this criticism, and we're going to talk to you the way we got to talk to you if it has to sink in your head. Put the motions out back, man. We don't care about that, man. You haven't made it yet. And if it happens to be that someone wants to buy him, Atletico Madrid, I'm not going to stop him. But again, I'll say it one more time, Marcus Rashford, he can go. Like, I'm done. I keep saying I'm done. I'm done like when a woman's fed up with you, all your bullshit. Each time you apologize, she just goes, Doesn't say anything else, just says, And that's my relationship with Marcus Rashford. I'm done.
Can I also say something about other than just like oh, sorry, did he say something?
No.
That's cool. Go on.
My bad.
Yo, okay. Eddie, what you saying?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just making sure. Go ahead, Sheik.
Other than just like all these things that we're talking about, like Garnacho and Rashford, if we actually look at the tactics too, these two players don't actually fit what he's trying to do with those 2-10 positions, because one, it requires a lot of, someone mentioned in the chat too, and I was going to talk about it, like intensity in terms of like pressing, because you have to, both those 10s, including the striker as well, we play that high press all the time. There were moments in the derby as well, Martinez pushed up past the halfway line to win a ball, like to literally just intercept and win the ball. So Yeah, like
Yeah.
in terms of tactics too, they're not two players one that are good on the ball because for example, Mainu, I think if you guys remember this, there was a moment in the box on the right-hand side. Mainu kept the ball with him and dribbled past like three players, but then he passed it offside to Mazraoui, who's coming back from an offside position. And him there, like that situation that he had with him on the ball, that's what Kobe Mainu like needs to do and is required to do in that position. And that's what players of that profile are required to do in that position. You need to be good on the ball because you're going to receive it quick. You need to have a decision already made. You also need to be press resistant. All these qualities that I'm talking about, Rashford and Garnacho are not good at. They're also different. There are wingers who run in behind, who utilize their pace. This system doesn't at like all the time require that. It does more require you to be more controlled, which they don't have. And maybe there's something that he's seen that he's honestly seen in training where he's given them obviously this opportunity to try to play in that position, but they're just not doing whatever the system and tactics and the rest of the players are also requiring them to make certain runs when they need to come show for the ball when they need to make a quick pass instead of just keeping it for too long. Because we've seen that in games where Rashford will pick up the ball, there'll be one defender, he'll try to take him on instead of trying to play it to somebody else. Not saying you shouldn't try to take him on, but also just the fact that it's never on in that moment, but you still decide to do it anyways. And maybe it's these type of instances that he's seeing from both. Garnacho too. How many times do we talk about it in a game where look up, look for the overlap, look at that person, pass to him, like all those type of things, right? And he's seeing all these things in training, and maybe these two players, like, yes, I know that it's also just and like an aspect of how they've been at the club and like their behavior and all of that in all these years, but it's also just about these guys just might not fit Ruben Amorim's plans, and that's completely fine because now he gets to go out and get those players that who he thinks and he can profile to be in this system. And I see it that way. I feel like I see it in both ways, but I see it more in this way that these two guys I've seen myself in these games under Ruben Amorim have jeopardized the team. They haven't played well. So he's taking them out immediately. And he's like, okay, we're not dealing with this anymore. And I'm going to rather give somebody else a chance. The likes of Mainu, the likes of Ahmad. This is now the second game in a row that we've seen Ahmad in the 10. We were talking about this. Oh, will we ever see Ahmad in the 10?
Absolutely,
He's been in the wingback role. And even though we've said like the wingback role is great for him because he was performing well, I've always said a player of his quality needs to be high up and he needs to be playing in those attacking positions. And looks like Ruben Amorim has seen it. So he's making these tweaks that he's talked about. And he's making the right tweaks is what I would basically say. I couldn't be more happy. He's playing Ahmad in the 10. He's dropped Rashford at Garnacho. This is things that I just love to see. Like there's nothing more that I could really say. Really. So yeah, man.
This is exactly what
Eddie,
we wanted.
what you saying, Eddie, man, in regards to Garnacho? What's that? Well, both Garnacho and Rashford obviously being left out and them being linked to moves away, January, summer, etc.
I hope it happens in January. I
Yeah, tell
really
me about
do.
it.
I hope it happens in January because I can tell the difference, man. I'm keen on body language. And Rashford, when he got that money, he seemed like it went all to his head. And I can say the same thing about Garnacho. When they were heralded, it went to their head. And what they've been putting on the pitch I think this for me with Garnacho, it was probably last season where he was playing all the time, getting goals, wasn't amounting to anything. But then we got the FA Cup, so he wants to sit here and act like he's solidified. Marcus got the bag. And for a lot of people, what they don't understand is when you come from humble beginnings, it's hard to keep a hunger when you're sleeping in silk sheets, man. And unless you're like I talk about it all the time when we watch basketball streams, right? And I talk about these psychotic dudes. Like these dudes are psychotic because they're psycho competitors. They fear the idea of losing more than they care about the adulation of winning. Winning is everything to them, but losing is means more, right? And when I watch these two dudes play football, and I compare that to a Diallo, or I compare it to a Mazraoui, even a Martinez, a Ugarte, the level of hunger is night and day. And I want players who care about it as much as the manager cares about it. It's clear as day to see how much this manager loves football,
Yeah.
how much he loves success. It's clear. And if you don't have players who match that intensity, they will stick out like a sore thumb. That's just what happens. You stick out football wise and you stick out effort wise. How anybody cannot just be impressed by the sheer effort that Ugarte puts out there on that pitch, game after game after game, is crazy. And then you see a guy like Garnacho not track back to save his teammates. You see the same thing with the Marcus Rashford not going up in the air for 50-50 balls. Y'all are not about this life.
Mm.
This is, I say it all the time, upper echelon sports is cutthroat committee business. You have to be built for it on a mental level before the skill set or the athleticism comes into play. If mentally you can't compete, who cares what you do out there on that pitch? Because it'll show that you can't do it. It's that simple, man. Like so, with Rashford, he needs to go as soon as possible. We need to use those funds to get somebody in, honestly, who can play striker or who can play the 10. Because I don't think. And the cold part about it is Kobe had that one moment where he was just dribbling through like four City players in the box.
Mm.
And that was the closest thing I've seen to him looking like a 10 that we
Yeah.
could utilize. But I think, like Sheik put it out, it's the intensity part that I always am wondering about when it comes to Kobe. Like, how can he keep up with the press? Can he keep up with the speed that those positions are required to have? And it's just one of those things. I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll see it soon because I think you can get away with playing a Hoyland if you have guys like Kobe and Ahmad with him who can kind of hold his hand through the whole playing the ball through tight lines and through like when you got teams sitting back in their own box. You need those guys who make those cutting edge types of passes, those types of dribbles. So, but that's what it. But just and I'll finish with Garnacho because
Of course.
what Ivorian has been the point of reference when we talk about what needs to happen with Marcus Rashford. He's been about this life, like getting Rashford out the club. People are just joining on to the circus that he's been running since day one. And Garnacho is the same thing. That's why I put in the title. We was right. We told you them two dudes was not good enough.
Mm.
They do not deserve to be here. And it took this manager doing it for y'all to understand it. So that's okay. We'll live with that. I'll take that. You don't want to listen to me. You don't listen to Ivory. You don't listen to Sheik. You don't listen to Flawless. That's cool. But again, I'll tell you this right now. If we tell you it's raining cheese, start investing in crackers. If we got you, we gonna let you know what it is. Okay? So if honestly, if we get 20 million for Rashford, I'm okay. If we
Facts.
get 10 to 5 million for Garnacho, I'm okay. But I need these two dudes out of this club ASAP.
I
So
hear it.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Eddie. Like fully with it. Like in regards to the news, we were saying one of the quotes about Rashford about it's a potential loan move to like a Bundesliga side. Just get them out. Whether it's loan in January or whether it's permanent, I don't care about what the price is in regards to what we get from a transfer fee or a loan fee or the option to buy for the buying club or the obligation to buy for the buying club. I ain't fussed if we have to pay him off or we have to pay Garnacho off. Cool. I'm just happy that this has happened.
I
That's all I would say.
I was reading
Okay.
something on Reddit. I was reading something on
Mm.
Reddit, and they was talking about how I guess Amron found out that Rashford was partying the night
I
before.
heard this too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
read
heard
I
this
this
heard
too.
that too.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that
How
too.
true it is, I don't know, but I did hear
Yeah.
that too. I don't know
Man,
how
it's
true it
crazy.
is. A big up to
Well,
V33 for the super chats, man. He says, bro, I was done with Rashi since he started his head pointing celebration. He's a no brainless player like me can score. Shame on you. Very low football IQ. Fair enough. And big up for the second super chat. He says, and please, no Ivorian Messi, no Amadinho. Ahmad is him. Ahmad is him. I agree, man. I just say a madness and keep it stepping. That's why you should run this. A madness is fire. You should try, man. A madness is fire. You should just run with that. Trademark that. Absolutely. And big up to Rowan as well. Says big up the panel. Manchester's red people enjoy this moment. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I ain't hearing no complaints. The fact that people are complaining about the manager, or people complaining about the team, or complaining about players, or backing two players who weren't in the squad. Rashford and Garnacho have done nothing. We'll just use this season alone. Their performances have been piss poor. The reason why we are where we are in the table, they have played a major role in that. The reason why the last guy lost his job, he played a major role in that. Is it solely on those two? No. But did they play their part? Yes. Because guess what? If we was top of the league and flying, guess who would be getting the praise? The last guy and those two. So I don't understand it. And people are now concerned and now worried. Oh, what we going to, like, are those two going to leave? They're up for sale, people. They're up for sale. You don't get dropped from a squad for no reason. Someone tell me in the chat, the last time two players got dropped from a squad who were bona fide starters, dropped for a huge game. Like I said, this weren't no light game. It's not like this is the second leg in Europa League and we won the first leg 4-0 and he's rotating and resting. No injury, no suspension. And he said it in the press conference. It's nothing there's no injury. We all know that they're not suspended. And he's just politely been doing what Amarim's been doing since he's got here, calling these man shit.
Mm-hmm.
But he just won't come out and say it that way because he's a manager and he's got a job to do. But Ivorian, Sheik, and Eddie and myself can say it like we've been saying it. This man is not good enough. And now a manager who's actually coming with some sense has realized that inside 5 games. Bear in mind, his replacements ain't the best. I keep saying this. Look at the bench, people. It's not like his bench was stacked with attacking talent. As bad as our attackers are in terms of quality, quantity we're like. Mount was out there. That's how bad it was. That Mount started, and we all know about Mount's limitations. But one thing that Mount will do, that those two don't, no one will question his application. And I think Mount's terrible. He's the worst attacker we've got, in my opinion. However, his application is there. You know, in training, he early to training. You know that. You know he's putting it in training. 100 is no one will ever doubt. Never seen him off the ball. Fantastic. Mount. If football was just off the ball, phenomenal. His issue was on the ball, but then you look at also the other team. There was only Xerxes and Eriksen on the bench, and we know Eriksen don't suit his system whatsoever. It's only Xerxes. That man got left out of a Manchester derby, and people are trying to sugarcoat like it's not. That's a major thing. And again, do I think they go back into the side of it? Yeah, they might play against Spurs. They might start against Spurs. They might be on the bench against Spurs, and he said as much. Tomorrow's a new day. Well, they'll be back, and the lack of quantity in our side means they'll play again. But this is a huge statement. And to add in the fact that we won, because I know if we lost, what the conversation would have been. Oh, we lost because of Garnacho and Rashford. We haven't been battered by City and so many teams before with these two playing. Because people love to run that, in particular with Bruno. Oh, where would we be without Bruno? Where would we be without Bruno? People was waiting to run that narrative when we was 1-0 down. And the game was ending. Waiting to run that narrative because a lot of you lot are Player FC before the football club, which is crazy to me. So it just adds more sweeter that you lot are mudded alongside those two. Because now we've just went and won somewhere we've not won in a long time, deserve win, and neither of them played a part, played a role, not good enough, and haven't been good enough for a long time. And if it's January, someone said in the chat, January's too soon. Facts. Get these man moves away ASAP. I'd rather youth players play. Even if we don't go and sign in January, not good enough. Nowhere near good enough. And again, there's more players, but those two, it's a massive statement to everyone else in the squad. Nobody's safe. That's why it is. You can drop Rashford and Garnacho for this. Rashford, the number 10. Mank born and bred through the youth system, highest paid player. A man said, nah, Garnacho, who's quote unquote the star boy. Another one who's come through Carrington. Guess what, man? It's a wrap for them, man. It's a wrap.
Yo, Ruben dropped them both and played Anthony. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. He played Anthony 2 games in a row. He favors Anthony more than both of them. Anthony's showing him more in terms of his play than both of these guys. And shout out to Anthony, man. Two times he came on as a sub, and both times we win the game. You know, it is what it is. But yeah,
facts. And that's what it is.
Man. It's been beautiful to watch. But it just goes to And again, we knew Anthony has certain limitations, but like we said, this manager doesn't make that stand out as much as previous managers have. And again, because of how our squad is set up, you're gonna have to use players that we don't necessarily like at all. I
Absolutely.
haven't said one bad thing about Will this entire time he's been playing for the manager because the manager has got the best out. I haven't had to say one crazy thing about McGuire because the manager is getting the best out of him. And you wanna know what it is? Because they've taken themselves out of the equation and put the team first. You can tell that with those two. There's a reason these other two are struggling. Okay. There's a
Absolutely.
reason these other two are struggling, right?
Absolutely. And I'm seeing it. Like I
It's
said, I'm
not
so glad we won that game even more so. Sorry to cut you off, Eddie, because people were waiting to chat shit about why we should play them. This is why they play and blah, blah, blah. Like we haven't been awful with them.
Yeah.
All these records we broken. You know who was front and center for that? Those two. Go check how many games these men start and how many games they play overall and how many minutes they play. They gotta be two of the highest. They're not two of the top four. I'd be very surprised. Like, take out the goalkeeper. This man have been here performing shite. But if we would have lost one game to Manchester City, it would have been, oh, this is why we need them in the team. So rap again. State this people. You know, can back these players all you want. Why? I have no idea, but fuck them. Tired of these lot.
With one thing here,
yeah.
with Marcus Rashford, the evidence is clearly there. So there's no way our fans or the rest of the other fan base or the Manchester United hate that just want to put their 2 cents into it just to make things even worse. So they can't say anything about Marcus Rashford because he's been underperforming for, I keep on saying 18 months. He's throughout his whole career of Manchester United, he's given us an average of 3 seasons at absolute best, and the rest of the 7 has just been shit. Not good enough, just never been consistent enough. With Alejandro Garnacho, the funny thing is that I believe he's the top goal scorer, right? At this present moment, he's got most of the goals.
I think it's Hoyland.
I would have thought.
Well, he was at one point.
You're talking about, he was at one point. Yeah. Because when Az said what he said to
he's
him,
putting in the numbers compared to Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. That's why I can say Garnacho's got a case because he's young. He's putting a little bit of numbers in there compared to Marcus Rashford. Well, Rashford is 27, and we've seen it all, and we've not seen a lot. You know the rest. Big up Leo, Mr. Reality. Man. Give us the reality, bro.
I'm here, man. I'm back, man. I'm back. You thought I was
man.
done. You thought I left the pod for good, innit? Do you know what I mean? I'm back in it.
I would have messaged you if I thought you would have left the pod for good. I know you busy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hand the P45 in a hit.
I would have, and to Rashi,
what's Eddie saying?
Guys, allow Rashford. He's getting. It's not. No one's abused him here. You don't need to learn the difference, and I direct this at you, particularly. Learn the difference between criticism.
Okay, Rashi 10. Okay, Rashi 10. My fault. My God. Rashi 10. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No abuse, though. Ain't no abuse.
No one is his parents.
Rashi 10. Let me ask you: Do you think Rashford's performed well this season? Let me ask you that. Do you think Rashford has performed to a good level this season? And last season, 2 questions. Do you think he's performed well this season and last season? Has he performed to a good level? Because no one's abused him.
Even to his own standards, not a level.
There's no one's abused him over here.
I was gonna say as well. Again, this is credit to the manager because these guys can't say Garnacho and Rashford weren't tried out in a big game. Garnacho started against Arsenal. Rashford came off the bench in the second half against Arsenal. Played the whole half. What did they do? Nothing. So why are we going to discredit him? I'm actually applauding him because he looked at this game, another big away game, the derby, and he's like, no, after that performance, we're keeping them out of the squad. After what Garnacho and Rashford did in that Arsenal game, nothing. Garnacho's first half was terrible. Rashford's second half was terrible. He gave away a goal, the corner, the set piece. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So so I'm giving credit to Ruben Amorim because we've been saying this for a while. Ten Hag didn't obviously follow it. He kept playing these guys. Ruben Amorim has seen it, and he's like, enough of this. Like, let's move on. Even though we don't have the best options on the bench, he's more like, let's just keep them out of the team because they're not like doing what I'm asking them to do in this system in terms of the team. So
can I ask you, man, a question? I was watching Saeed's Straight Jacket, and they were going through the you can't put it up here, innit? You'll get flagged. He put the video on for Amarin talking about, was he breaking down the post game or something where he talks about Rashford? I'm sure he talks about him on.
Oh yeah, he did. Hey, if
Can
one
you
of
put
you
that up, or can you put that up, or you're going to get flagged? Because Saeed's video's got flagged, innit? I don't know if
I'll
it's
probably get
I
flagged.
can pull up just the quote. Yeah.
Yeah, if someone's got the
that'd be
quotes
good,
in the
because
chat,
I was
let me know.
literally into the video. I pressed pause to take a phone call. When I come back like an hour later to watch it, it just said like you can't watch the vid. So I don't know the full context of what he said, innit?
Yeah, but I'm paraphrasing, but he said something along the lines of we tried him in different positions and
I
tried
heard
him in
that
different
part.
roles on
It
the
doesn't
pitch.
work in the 9 or something.
Yeah, and it didn't work. So what am I supposed to do? Keep trying or try something different? Which I've been saying. This is
It's
why I said
refreshing
about Diallo with the 10. Like when people say, "Oh, Mano can't play in the 10," try it. Just see what happens. Just see, and if it goes horrendous and Mano's terrible in the 10, which I don't think it is, I think he will be, but let's say he is hypothetically, you try somebody else there. I don't get this whole thing, and now the manager's echoing that because no one would have said
people need to understand as well, that like what I've been saying on streams for a little while is like Ruben Amorim's very smart, because what he's doing is he's exposing what he needs to. The system exposes everything. If you're not good enough, you'll get found out in this system.
That's true.
This, even the way we're sat on stream right now, is actually like the system. So if Ivorian's got the ball now, I don't know about Ivorian centre mid though. He's more of like a song, Alex Song and that. Yeah, you're moving mad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, flawless left winger. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, like I'm Danilo. Yeah. Boom. Do you know what I mean? So, but you see what it is like. If you have this system right now, let's just say I want to pass the ball. I've got Eddie. Do you know what I mean? Right here. Sorry, right here. I can't do it on stream. I've got Flawless next to me and Ivorian. So if you're not good at basic football, you're going to get found out, because in the old system, you had to do worldy things. If you played in midfield, you had to spray the ball. Then you had to, like, do you know what I mean, get out the pitch. Then the opposition would get the ball. You'd have to get back and, do you know what I mean, break up play and stuff. So it's like he's clever because his system was always going to expose players, and then he can talk about their deficiency because he can talk from a very logical system-based point of view. Do you know what I'm saying? I require this number 8 here to do this role. So I don't really care about your expectations on the player and what you think he can do and all these excuses. It's just very simple. So at the end of the day, he's trying things out for a few games, and I like it, man, because he'd rather him be honest and say, look, why would he continue to go with players that can't play his system knowing that will get him sacked? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, facts.
It doesn't make sense, does it, Flawless?
Facts. He's realized, hey, you know what? If I keep playing these, man, you might not go have me in shit. Like, all right, you know what? Yeah, you might gotta get dropped.
Yeah, fuck that.
You gotta get dropped. I'm tired. That's what it was. That's how bad they are. I think people don't realize how bad they was for them to drop them from the squad. Not the bench, because we've seen players, it don't happen often, but we've seen players get dropped to the bench after poor performance. He's like, I don't want to see you, man. That's what it's like.
Yeah. I have his quotes. I have his quotes after the game.
You, man. It's like
did man clock his thing the other day when he pulled Rashford off? Was it in the European game and he didn't even look at him?
He didn't shake his hand. He shook everyone else's hand, but he didn't shake his hand. He's done.
By the way,
and she just sends you straight to your room. You know
that's not personal. Do you know what that is? That's remaining the standards within the squad. Because it's like, look, man can chat in the back, and you can say that we can chat on the training ground, and I can say to you it wasn't good enough and stuff like that. But right now, why would I shake your hand when you haven't performed? Doesn't make sense. Why would I create a system whereby I'm rewarding mediocrity? Eddie, go on.
No, that's facts.
I was asking, whose hand did you say he didn't shake?
Rashford.
It wasn't the shake hand, it was the acknowledgement. He kind of like Rashford came off and he was kind of like, so if you're Amarin looking that way, Rashford's over there, and he's like
you playing a check team,
the funniest thing is he shook everyone else's hand. All the other subs he did. He acknowledged everybody else. He just didn't acknowledge it.
He was the worst player on the pitch.
That's not personal though. That's just like
he took him off. Yeah. It's not personal. It's just you didn't play well. So it's like I'm trying to win this game, and by the way, we did when we took him off. By the way,
I like that shake. I like he didn't shake his hand. I want Mark Ratchis to go and sit on that bench and thinking, "Oh shit, yeah, man, just not happy with me. He didn't shake my hand." You know. Yeah. Don't shake someone's hand when they
you gotta earn that handshake.
Exactly. It's not even that as well, because you might not give a shit about handshake. It's like in the past, it's always been okay, Rashford, you didn't play well today, but your potential is it will come good at some point. I can't run my business like that. Do you know what I'm saying? If somebody's not performing, I work in the media business. I can't be like, you did one bad shoot, the client's not happy, but you'll get it right in 3 shoots time. Are you crazy? My reputation's just going to go boom straight down in the pan. So.
He's also not this young player anymore.
Yeah,
27 years old.
You're in music, you're a performer, yeah. So let's just say, like, for example, yeah, you're doing, let's just say you guys were doing like a concert or something or sold out show in Manchester, yeah. and the guy who's playing your DJ shit.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
come on, man. Who's going to buy a ticket for that show again? They're like, the rapper was cold, but the DJ was, my
the
man.
DJ was terrible. Yeah, 100%. You're right. Sheik, what was the quote? What did he say?
So he said, I'll just say the whole quote. He said, it's important to say why. It was not a disciplinary thing. Next week, next game, new life. They are fighting for their places. For me, it's important. The performance in training, the performance in games, the way you dress, the way you eat, the way you engage with teammates, the way you push your teammates. Everything is important in our context in the beginning of something when we want to change a lot of things. When people in our club are losing their jobs, we have to set the standards really high. And for that, they have to fight for a place in the team. Today, the team proved we can leave anyone out of the squad and manage to win if you play together. If it was disciplinary, I would say that here, and it will be a bigger problem, but it was not that. That's what he said.
That's that man said, people are losing their jobs. So about the last guy, and obviously that's the main thing. And
bare logical, man. Bare logical.
Extremely logical. He calling these man shit in the most polite way possible that he has been doing. But Leon,
he's been saying that, yeah.
He's been saying that. Your thoughts on the actual game itself?
What do you say? What do you say, Flores?
Your thoughts on the game itself, the derby win?
Unfortunately, I was working. Yeah, but I seen the goals. Yeah, I was working on a Sunday boxing show, innit? The only one of the year, so it was a bit mad. Yeah, I was watching people getting absolutely collapsed. But yeah, it's crazy. It was like 20 fights and 10 knockouts. It was good.
Yeah.
But,
wow.
Yeah,
that's some event.
Yeah. I'll give you the link. One of them's gone viral, and it's like 1.2 million. It's gone nuts. But anyway,
nice.
The game, I'm just. It was individual brilliance by the looks of what I've seen, from what I've seen, extended highlights and stuff like that. But boy, are we getting reconfirmed how good Amad Diallo is. I mean, that there was mad. Like, what I like in football as well, I'll just talk about the last goal to start off with,
Of course.
The only player on the pitch. This is why the system's great as well as exposes the rubbish, because like the way he just shifted his movement and was already for the ball when you see the build-up, Just very simple football, but very intelligent. The way he finishes it is not simple football. The movement is what you should be doing in that position. So big up Ahmad, man. And I just feel like it's proven that even if you play, what would you rate United in that game, guys? Would you say they played a 7 out of 10 game, an 8 out of 10 game? What did they play overall in 90 minutes?
My opinion overall, to me, because I felt we didn't play too well, would be 6 out of 10.
I'd say it was definitely a game of 2 hours, but I think
it was
in the second. I would say 7.5. Me personally.
What you saying? The first half was whack.
The first half wasn't. No, the first half wasn't whack. We just offensively offered nothing.
I'd say like a 5 out of 10 first half, but second half was 7 out of 10 because we showed intent. Even before they gave away the penalty, because Mateus Nunes did give away that penalty, we still looked like we were going. We had chances. We had more chances than them. Like the Ahmad header. I can't really think of like a big chance that they had.
I heard in open play they didn't make anything.
They created nothing. The goal that they scored too, by the way, it took a wicked deflection, very wicked deflection.
I've seen that off Ahmad's knee or something like that.
Off Ahmad's knee, and honestly, I thought Højlund and Dalot should have done better there because there's two of them right next to Guardiola. But it's just the goal that they scored. Look at the goal that they scored too. But other than that, they did nothing. Like I can't think of Haaland actually having a chance, like a clear-cut chance. De Bruyne too, he didn't really have like the freedom that he normally has too. Like Ugarte was, they were bullying. Like they're not bullying, but they were causing problems basically in the midfield. So
for me personally, if you have a decent system, not even an amazing a system is a system, and it's not like, do you know what I mean? It will give you a level of consistency, and consistency will create confidence. And the players have already gained quite a lot of confidence, even though he lost them couple of games. If you look at how many games he had now, about 8 or 9 games, probably about 7 or 8 games he's added with them. I can see a level of calmness and more confidence in the system. Do you know what I'm saying? Not, I feel confident this week to finish my chances. I feel confident this week to clear the ball and to get every tackle right. But in the actual belief in the thing he's teaching, And I feel like you need in a season, if you get a 6, 7 out of 10 performance against a team like City, they're off the ball right now. But their system's been found out. But you're going to get these results, and I'm just happy that like we're starting to see these kind of things, because at the end of the day, if you stick in there in a game and you take your chances, you deserve to win it, don't you? If you take your chances, you deserve to win it. Honest with you,
absolutely.
It shows belief that they scored 2 goals that late, really, in my opinion. So
and trust me, we were the better side. You know what I'm saying? I was there, Leon. That's why I sound like this. We were the better side.
I seen you go mad,
Oh yeah. It was nuts. Scenes, man. Like I said, pandemonium. But when Bruno
I swear
missed
there
that
weren't that many
chance,
United fans
was-
there from what I see, but it just drowned out the City noise
Nah,
anyway.
I seen that it was
Nah,
cool.
we
Like,
just loud, like because you only get
No,
the
I
stand
never
I
saw
was
no
in.
City fans. All I saw was Man United fans, bro. When I
Yeah,
looked at
so
the stadium,
just
there's
the
no
tier
City
I
fans.
the tier I was in, and I think the tier above there, that's the away stands. So where I was, because I was ground level, I was lower tier, and then the upper tier there was fans above us as well. But yeah, the
You
place was
see that
packed up.
Sarcasm City lower tier now. You see that people, yo, too many
Insane.
subscribers, too much money. Yeah, you see
Yeah,
that
I'm
lower
trying,
tier.
man. I'm trying to go to more games than that. That shit was. That's why I've been wanting to go to away games and that. Because
No, I
as
hear
good
it.
as home games are, if you're not in the Stretford end, I ain't gonna lie, it's dry. If you want to be with your fans, like people just like you go anywhere else in OT that's not Stretford end, everyone sat down and that, like they are yard where it's
You want to
there.
be in the thing, yeah.
No one was sat down. You know what I'm saying? Might as well have been standing only. No one was sat down. Not in the slightest. You know what I'm saying? No one sat down at all from the first minute to the last minute. Everyone's engaged in the game. But yeah, we did the business and a deserved win. I test, we won I test, we were better, and even the stats show we was better. Everything, shots on target, actually any metric you want to
What was
use.
the front three that he started with, and what did he change it to?
It was Mount,
Mount,
Diallo, Hoyland,
and
but
Hoyland.
Mount got injured early on. And
Mount
then Maino
Diallo,
came in.
Hoyland.
Yeah.
And then
But
Maino
Mount,
came in.
Mount on the
Mount
left.
got injured early.
Yeah.
What was Maino, Diallo, Hoyland looking like?
Nah, it was more
It was
so.
Bruno.
It was kind of a mix because it was Bruno there, but in the second half in particular, Maino was high, like playing high. Like
So what are you saying? Maino and Bruno were swapping roles?
Nah,
Kind
not
of.
swapping. Well, kind of. It was
Kind of.
interchanging. Yeah, it was kind of because
Because he
Diallo was
started
still in the
off
front.
He
Go on.
Bruno in the 8 in the pivot with Ugarte. So he had
Yeah.
him playing deep first, but there were moments where like Bruno was high up and Maino was dropping back. And then sometimes Maino was making a run, progressing the ball, and Bruno was dropping back. It's like, yeah, they were kind of swapping, interchanging at times, to be honest. They were. But I'd say it's more like Mainu was kind of playing, I guess, like a freedom role where he was just basically going everywhere. I'd see him on the left-hand side. I'd see him on the right-hand side sometimes too. He was kind of everywhere. But that's what he went with because Mount went injured in the first like 15 minutes or so. So he brought Mainu on immediately. And yeah, Mainu did well. I thought he did well.
Well, it's
He
his
helped
first
in
game back, so
controlling.
you can never
He
expect
grew.
the world
He
if
grew
he
into the
does.
game. In my
Sorry.
He
opinion.
grew into the game and he like he
Yeah.
controlled it. He helped in terms of like controlling the
That's
game.
what you
And
want.
Because what
yeah.
he does at times is like he'll just leave Agate as a lone six. There was another game where he did that. I can't remember what it was, but we were chasing the game. Was it a Forest game? It was a game he was chasing. Yes, Forest, and he'll just leave Agate because if you look at like Maino, like his heat map, you could see he wasn't in the pivot. He was high up, so it was like Maino.
What, he was in the
Diallo.
pivot when we're defending, but not when
Yeah,
we're
he dropped like him and Bruno would get back in when
You
we
can get
defended.
away with that because in the right team, playing against the right opposition, he looks after the ball, innit? So you can't move that. You cool with that. So
because him and Diallo and Mazarari was linking up on that side.
Oh,
all
is
our
that?
best.
So he
all
was
our
on the
best
right hand
moments
side of
coming from the
midfield.
right.
That's nice.
He was on
I
the
like
right
that.
hand side. Yeah. And that's where all our brightest moments in the second half came from.
Can see that.
Even though the goal came from the left from Martinez, it's still Diallo making the run over the other side. Like Dalot, Diallo, Bruno didn't really do too much in terms of offensive. But on the right-hand side, that's where all the better moments was coming from. Like Eddie mentioned it, where Maino was in the box trying to dribble past a couple players and eventually go for a corner or they get a block or Edison would come and collect it, etc. But we're actually a threat going forward to the point where it's like, we're going to win this. And then as soon as Bruno scored the penalty, we were going, like, we was the only team who was going to win.
I heard a lot of people are saying online that Anthony's been cooking with Diallo a little bit. Like he's showing some linking up and doing a few little bits.
It's positive.
I think Anthony could be a wing back. I do actually genuinely think that he's got all the attributes to be a wing back. I'm not going to say he's going to be the most amazing.
He has come on as a wing back both times. Like these past 2 games, he's come on as a wing back and we've won. That's what everyone's basically saying.
He's all right.
He's made those changes, in both games, and we've ended up winning. So
don't get twisted. It's not a £90 million. Oh my god, amazing wing back. We know this now, people.
It's using the squad.
To be fair, the Victoria Pleasant goal, he was a part of it. He played the initial pass to whoever it was on that right-hand side who squared it to Diallo. So he was actually part of that goal. And that was an instant impact. It was literally a minute after he was subbed on. He got the ball, he played the pass, we ended up scoring. So
Eddie, what are you saying?
Because it's just the way he plays in that position makes sense. It's just the way he plays, like
Anthony FC at wing back over there.
What you say? It doesn't make sense, or it does make sense.
You know the vibes, because he plays off of people, and in doing so, he really gets like Ahmad engaged. He gets Mazraoui engaged. Like, it's a sight to see, man. Long may it continue. Anthony FC, we have arrived. We have arrived. This is eerily similar to the first time I saw Martial with the black gloves, man. This Anthony at wing back, it hit different. It hit different. Sooner or later, Flores will get a laminated card as a part of Anthony FC. And people, we will be there. We will be there.
Oh,
Lovely
Jesus.
times. Lovely times at OT, man. Lovely times.
Yes. Oh, yeah, man. It poured with, I like to say, deserved victory. And now it's about kicking on Spurs in the quarterfinal away on the Thursday in the Carabao Cup and then Bournemouth at home. And we got to win those 2 games. And now it has to be a kick on. It can't be a beat City and then lose to Bournemouth at home. Nah. And even the Spurs game as well. Carabao Cup, for whatever reason, some people want to dismiss that. I don't know why. But, hey, then again, certain people's managers, in Phase 5 are claiming the Community Shield as trophies. But
yeah, I heard that today.
That's a whole different conversation, man.
In Phase 5.
Man are talking about he's won 3 trophies. Man are claiming 2 Community Shields,
The guy said, like, oh, you won 1 trophy. He's like, no, I've won 3. You're forgetting, like, the 2 charity shields. He literally said you're forgetting the 2 charity shields that I won. You absolutely the 2 dinner plates that you won. You absolute shame.
You're talking about Community Shields out here, man. It's mad.
Hey, but Super Mick Arteta, I hope he stays though. Like that's the thing.
Super duper Mick, without doubt, man.
He won 2 charity shields.
It's so bad. It's so awful.
We need to change that countdown because he has won 2 Community Shields. He's right, man. We need to change the countdown.
We need to change. Yeah, man.
Change 100% for when they last won.
Desperation when you talk about Community Shield. Absolute desperation. It's awful. It's the pre-season Finnish Cup. It's absolutely awful. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so bad.
It's crazy. It really was. And yeah, to sum up talking about Mazraoui, defensively, we mentioned it at the start. All the defenders were on point. And Mazraoui, apart from the time, there was one time Doku sat him down. Other than that, locked him up. I know anytime Doku got the ball, whether it's the first half or the second half, I was like, Mazraoui got this. And he showed his skill. And then even he won the ball off Doku. You know what I'm saying, brushed him aside. I think he played a pass to Højlund, and then Højlund played the pass to Bruno, which Bruno missed. I think it was Højlund who played the pass. I need to double check that. But yeah, and you lot were 4 short of 100 likes. Girls up to 100 likes. Subscribe to Chic TV. Subscribe to Red United TV. Links are in the title, people. Click the links in the title. Make sure you follow Leon as well. He over there, doing on his Eddie Hearn-ish when it comes to the boxing thing. So yeah,
make sure you follow Eddie as well, man. He'll be doing streams about Anthony and breaking the game down real soon.
Yeah. Tactical breakdowns and all that. Big up Don C. Hey, big up Don, man. Been a member of the channel for 8 months. He says, fam, don't do that. Hey, that's what your gaffer said. I'm just repeating. He said he's won 3 trophies. He said FA Cup, 2 Community Shields. Maybe we need to look at 3 trophies in 5 years is not a bad return. Maybe we're looking at it all wrong.
But have they won 2 FA Cups, but it's longer?
No. 1 FA Cup and 2 Community Shields.
Oh my god.
Yo, you know what's hilarious about that? Yo, first of all, they drew to Everton, right? And people try to tell us, oh, it's only Everton, and it's
an Arsenal fan on this channel tried to tell me it's only Everton.
Yeah, it's only Everton and all that. Yo, there was a moment in the game where Arteta had Saliba and Gabriel playing as wingers.
All I seen
Phase 5, 800 million spent, and
all I seen on Match of the Day is Jordan Pickford going mad because he saved loads of. I'm like, yo, you lot are that's awful.
Yeah, man.
Even Poch with Chelsea scored 6 against Everton at home. Poch with Chelsea.
The real pride of Merseyside, man. Shout out to everyone.
Imagine the one season that City are nowhere near and Arsenal can't even solidify and think, do you know what? We've been second best. We will put our marker in the ground right now. And even though Liverpool have come back and challenged Liverpool and they're just, like it's Chelsea. Chelsea have just gone, you man. It's like going it's like being on a racetrack and they're like, you always finish second, so I'll take second this time. Do you know what I mean?
Man, that's exactly what it is.
You know what's the funniest thing, Leon? Even with Manchester City being 1-11, right? They're only still 3 points behind Arsenal.
Yep.
Mazel. Hey, shout out Arsenal. Big up Super Duper.
Shout out
Arsenal. I said shout out Arsenal. You're taking the piss.
Shout out Super Mick Arteta, man.
Shout out Super Duper Mick, man. Don't see big up to you, man. Remember the channel for 8 months.
Look.
Oh, it's great. And yeah, the United Arsenal show is tomorrow, people. So yeah, United City show tonight. Man Them United podcast, Man Them City podcast, 11:30 p.m. Heard back from Vader. I know his head is on Mars. I know he is pissed. I know he's been getting trolled. People have been waiting to get 1 win in 12 for them jokers in the blue side of Manchester. And then obviously when tomorrow, 11:30 p.m. the United Arsenal show, TJ will be there, Tony will be there. You already know. Leon, before we move on quickly and get everyone's predictions for the next 2 games, your thoughts on the reports coming out about Rashford potentially leaving, Garnacho potentially leaving. Loan deal's been mentioned for Rashford, similar to Sancho's when Sancho went Dortmund, just talking about Bundesliga. But yeah, thoughts on those 2 potentially leaving.
Loan deals for who? Garnacho?
No, Rashford they're talking about.
They kind of have to take that route with the wage. They'll have to cover half the wages probably. If they, what, in January? The rumors.
Yeah, they're saying in January. Yeah. Potentially January. Obviously, this is all just reports.
I don't think you're going to get a sell for him in January. I mean, who's going to buy Marcus Rashford in January apart from Saudi Arabia? Like, who's really going to do it? Do you know what I'm saying? Unless PSG go, yeah. Did PSG spend all the Mbappe money?
Nah, and they need attackers, so here we go. Yeah, they're saying,
Did Mbappe go on a free, actually? He went on a free, no?
Yeah, he did. He went on a free, yeah.
That would be the smartest move. It's time for Marcus Rashford to move on. If Ruben Amorim is the coach that manages to get that done, huge credit. Do you know what I'm saying? Nothing against Marcus as a person, but we cannot have players within this team anymore who go multiple seasons below a certain standard and just stay because they are marketable and because they're Mike Brown. But I don't really know. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I haven't got it for a long period of time. The minimum you should expect of a player is to work for the team. Now, I don't mean like them people that are like, just run. Do you know what I mean? Just run, mate. Do you know what I mean? Get stuck in, 2-footers and all that. Like, actually work for your teammates because it's a team sport.
Absolutely. You might carry on. I'm still here. Carry on.
So, I never forget what Trapp said as well. Trapp said one of the funniest things as well because he said Rashford should be a gangbanger because all he does is shoot at people. I was dying when he said that. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's too funny. But don't let that go over your head. But yeah, it's time to move on. With Garnacho, you get to the end of the season, sell him. If you get 30-40 million for him, you'll look back at that and it'll be every penny will be unbelievable out of that.
Yeah, in fact.
And
it's 100% profit because he comes from the academy.
For both of them, technically.
Profit.
Yeah,
we're scamming people for 30. If they pay 30-40 million, we are scamming them. I'll be real with you because he's gonna get there and he ain't gonna do nothing. I'll be real with that. Do you know what I'm saying? The guy's had 100 games for us, and people still feel like, oh yes, maybe he's gonna. Do you know what I mean? But I can go into that. Yeah, it's time to make a move, man, because this system. If you sell a player for 40 million, you can get 2 players in this system. If you sell a player for 60 million, you can get 3 players in this system or 2 really, really good ones. You don't need worldies in the system. So I'm ready, man. Like there's clear deficiencies. I mean, what would you guys say the deficiencies are? The wing backs is huge, and then what? 9 or one of the 10s is different. What would you
I feel like 10. Sheik is 10.
I'd say honestly, I'd say like the attack in like completely, like entirely all together. I would say it's not necessarily like in one position. I'd say like we just need better players in attack.
What would you say if you had 2 choices, Sheik?
Yeah.
What would you say if you only had 2 to choose from?
Okay, honestly, it'd be in the attack. It'd be 1 winger and 1 striker. That's what I would say. Yeah.
What are you going left wing? Are you going left wing because Mazraoui's pretty good? Are you going on the other side? Yeah. Left footer, left wing.
Side.
Okay.
Yeah, because our right side is Mazraoui and Ahmad. Like I can't even.
And then in the 10, are you going creative, athletic? Like what are you thinking?
I'll tell you this: if you ask me one player that I would want, it's that the left winger from Napoli. He'd be perfect on the left hand side.
Cavachilio.
Oh, he's unreal.
That type of player, that type of profile. It would be is what I would basically want on the left hand side.
He'd be perfect. He can play in that number 10 position. He can play on the wing as well. Technically great, outstanding, creative as well. But are you not concerned about the midfield? Because of course, right now, as I look at the midfield, I don't see Eriksen. He might leave, because it's potentially Casemiro is a bit of a 50-50, even though he puts in the performances. And if you've got Ugarte, you've got Mainu, and sometimes Bruno has to drop deep. I feel like we still need that midfielder that can keep the ball, be a playmaker, do both roles, play as an 8 or 6. We're still missing that.
No, I 100% agree. It's just Leon asked me too. In reality, we need like a lot more in the whole team.
I'll be real as well. For me personally, I think because like a lot of people I've spoke to have agreed on the fact that we've got about maximum 6 or 7 players that we feel like we can move forward with, and the rest is kind of like dead weight, basically. A lot of people have kind of said, like, outside Mazraoui, a couple of our centre backs, Zertsky's a 50-50 for people. I would definitely keep him, but everyone's 50-50. And then you've got like Ahmad. Who else am I missing? There's a few key players, isn't there, who are like, I'll stick with Agate and a couple of people. If you're going to go do what Sheik says, I agree with what Sheik's saying. I think it needs to be I don't think it matters when you've got the right profile of player, the 9 can actually play the 10 in some games if you get the right profile.
Xerxes does that right now.
Yeah, exactly. Another players. For me personally, I don't think we need to go and get the top of the grade finished United team players right now. I think we need to get people that end up transitioning towards the bench, because we have to have a transitional period. It's unrealistic in the market to go out and spend 50 million on one player when we could have had 25 on 2, because the 25 on 2 right now will take us to top 4, I believe. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, if somebody comes up in the market, but
I hear what you're saying.
Because like really and truly, if I give you Sheik 25 million pounds now and say go get me a left wing back, you're probably gonna have 5-6 choices, aren't you? And they're all gonna play competent well. So
because that's what the system's done in regards to its profiles. That's what it's done. Like, and that's what it should be. It shouldn't be a name thing. It shouldn't be go get me this player. It's like, no, I need a player that does this. We've spoken on this profiles over names. So wing back, I think it's clear as day what the wing back is. So whether it is an Alfonso Davies, whether it's the wing back from Lecce,
definitely is a left wing back position.
Yeah,
who's the left back from Lecce? Who's that?
What's his name?
Never look.
Oh, jeez, is it Dragu? I forgot his name. Yeah, he's supposed to be good. Jez has been talking about him for a minute now. Some wing back there, and actually United. I think United, Liverpool.
What, Antonio Gallo?
Yep. No. It's Dragu or something like that.
Yeah, Dorgu.
That's it. Yeah. That's his name. Yeah, Dorku. Yeah.
The Denmark brother. Yeah, the Danish.
Yeah. Like Jez has been talking about it for a minute, and they're seeing United and Liverpool both got linked with him. So there's options. Same way if Wolves get relegated, I just go get Nori, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying this. Just go get Nori in January. They will get relegated.
He's good.
Yeah.
They just sacked Gary O'Neill as well. They just sacked their manager too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, my guy Gary.
Fighting the Ipswich staff, man, are going to get hella bans in that.
My guy Gary, man, that's peak.
Yeah, it's peak for Gary O'Neill. A big up to V33 for the super chat, man. Says January saw Rashi for Hakimi right wing back and keep Mazraoui left wing back. I don't see PSG doing that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I don't see PSG doing that. I don't. But you lot continue to run up the likes, hit the subscribe button. Going to get predictions from the man then before we do indeed close out. So let's see. Spurs away. Oh yeah, Spurs away quarterfinal Carabao Cup. Ivorian will go to you.
I think we can get a win. You know, I didn't realize that Spurs were in the same predicament as us when I looked at the table, and I was like, "Wow, you guys are like with us. You're underneath us as well." You know, I didn't know that. Like, you would have thought that Spurs were that bad. You know, we thought we were just focusing on us, but Spurs is bad. So I feel like we can go there and get some revenge and beat them at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, probably with another 2-1 win. I feel like we're going to concede the first goal and come back from here as well, because our character's been tested in the last 2 games. You know, we last week in the Europa League we was 1-0 down and we had to show our character and come back 2-1 against City in a difficult situation away from home, and missing 2 of our so-called best players. We still came from adversity and came back. So I feel like with Tottenham as well, they will start off well. They'll cause us a few problems. We're going to stay calm and controlled with the ball, like we've seen against Man City, and come back in the second half or probably in the first half as well. So 2-1. And do you want me to move on to the next game?
Yeah, go on and win. That's what
the Bournemouth game. We have to win. We have to win at home. We need to get back to page 1 of the Premier League. I'm tired. Like second page. Yeah, we've been second page for God knows how long. This is bad. As a Manchester United fan, I don't know when was the last time I've seen Manchester United on the second page for more than 2 to 3 months consistently, like every week. So we need to get ourselves back into the books of being page 1, positive goal difference as well. So against Bournemouth, I believe last time we suffered against Bournemouth last season as well, and it's time to get revenge and make our rights wrong. I mean, make wrongs from our rights, whichever way. Whatever. If you guys understand what I'm trying to say, Yeah, just correct our wrongs from
Right or
last
wrong.
season and make it
Right or
right.
wrong.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all you
yeah.
have to do. So yeah. 3-0 win for Manchester United against Bournemouth. I'm going for goals.
Fez, same to you, Sheik. Both games, obviously starting with Spurs away.
Wait, can I just stop for 1 second? Yeah, Flawless is calm. You see how Flawless ain't calling no one else out on goals anymore. Do you remember he used to say, "But like, who's scoring the goals? Who's scoring? These guys are crap.
because we have-
Who's scoring the
because we have-
goals? Who's
we have
scoring the
a-
goals?"
Because
Wait,
we
how
have a
far are we off
manager.
my target, man? 65 goals. How far are we off?
No,
Can't be far off
don't
that
do
one.
that. Yo, that was 65 goals under Ten Hag. Don't do that.
No.
Don't try it.
It was this
No,
season.
don't
Big,
try
it was
that.
this season, it was
Nah.
this
You
season.
said
It was.
65 goals under Ten Hag.
I knew Ten Hag was going to go. It's
Don't
calm.
do that. Hold on.
That's
That's
when
not what
Ten
we
Hag was
do.
there and
He
Rashford
said
was starting.
65 goals under Ten Hag. He left us.
Yeah,
we had
21. We're not
9
far off. 21. We're not far off. We'll get this
sure.
now.
Under Ten Hag. Let's clarify that. You know what I'm saying? This guy.
I don't know. The man them are
65
not saying that still. The man know it was this season.
Yeah, hey, you know what? The live stream's still there. This guy was talking about 65 goals under Ten Hag, You know, he left us 10 goals in 11 games, right? He was less than goal a game.
I never specified when it was. I did say this season. Let's be real now.
Sure, mate. You know what I'm saying? This guy, back in Ten Hag, crazy work. It was crazy. It was 65. I think we'll just get there with Amorim, to be honest. We'll get around it.
Yeah,
Sheik, what you doing?
I said 40 goals under Ten Hag, but that was Ten Hag anyways. It is what it is. For Spurs and
That's
Spurs.
horrible. That's horrible.
For Spurs, it looked like it, bro. It was 10 and 11. It was like Paul said, it was 10 and 11.
Yeah, it was 10 and 11, but Leon was talking about 66. Yeah.
No, 65, I said.
65? Yeah. But we were 10 and 11,
less,
but we're
one
get
less
65.
Bruno penalty. Okay, one less Bruno penalty. No worries.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spurs and Bournemouth, right? Yeah, Spurs, I'll say 2-1. And then Bournemouth, I'll say 3-1. Yeah. I think we should win both. Even though I feel Bournemouth will be a tough game. Both games are going to be tough games. Bournemouth have been playing well. So, but yeah, we got to win. Let's go.
Eddie, what are you saying?
Give me 2-0 versus Spurs, and then I'll say 2-1 versus Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth right now really enjoy playing with one another, and for that manager, I think Spurs...
Yo, pause. That was crazy. Yo.
Hey, yo.
Let me just have a breather. That was mad.
No, you got... I deserve that. Let me take a couple of seconds to collect my thoughts and act right. Okay. They like
Leon guy is the worst of the worst.
The manager puts on the pitch. You see, so they're in unison. Meanwhile, Ange is out here talking back to fans. Ange is out here trying to deal with players, inhaling balloons and shit like that. So we got a lot on his plate. And I just think that 5-0 to Southampton ain't nothing to be. It's like when we did the 7-0 to Barnes. It's the same vibe. So I think Bournemouth will actually give us a harder game than Spurs will. So I'll go 2-1 Bournemouth. 2-1 United against Bournemouth. And I'll go 2-0 versus Spurs on Thursday.
Oh, first. Leon, what are you saying?
It's hard, isn't it? Because I think it'll be 2-1 Bournemouth, but I think it's difficult because...
Pause, yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy stuff.
Yeah,
my bad. Yeah, that was mad stuff. Yeah.
It is, yeah. Yeah. Joke, man. That's what you get for that. That's the universe hitting you back for that goal shit. Go on. Joke, man.
Karma right there.
Karma right there.
That's what happened to Eddie in the comments. That's funny. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's difficult because I think Bournemouth will give us a harder game, to be honest with you. I feel like that depends. You know what's really, really tricky for me right now is like who he puts in them front three positions. Because if he puts certain three together, I'm like, it's just a long day, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm end up chasing the game. Against Tottenham, I think it'll be a high scoring game, but I think we'll nick it by 1 goal. I think it might be like 3-2 or something like that. Because it's going to be end to end, I think. Like they're going to try and turn it into that. Unless Amorim's system counteracts that. I'm just trying to think because if they are compact together, then if they can break. But yeah, I think we'll probably win the next 2 games. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw against Tottenham and then a win. But I think it will be probably 3-2 against Tottenham and 2-1 Bournemouth.
I see the confidence, people. I was saying, I love this. I'm predicting wins all over. I'm with that too. Obviously, it's lineup dependent, very much like the City game.
Yeah.
to me, these are lineup because if
By
you
the way, I
put
think the Tottenham game will be exciting. Though. It's usually an exciting game, to be fair.
yeah, because they I don't think they've got no centre backs and the high line, so hopefully we can exploit that. But
And
they'll be bang up
Fraser
for us.
Forster in goal as well.
Yeah, 'cause they'll look at us and go, yeah, we'll be able to. We can get our Manchester United, but then we'll look at them and go, we can get our Spurs because our seasons
Also,
are kind of near with each other.
They play Liverpool this weekend, so even they might rotate or might have to
They
rotate.
may rotate.
Yeah,
they
because
may
they play
rotate.
Liverpool this weekend on Sunday.
They will rotate
in the Premier League. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They might rotate, but we'll see. But yeah, in regards to Spurs, I think 2-1, and then Bournemouth. 2-1 twice. They will win both games 2-1. But like I said, so lineup dependent.
Yeah, this is what you want, though. I like how there's not a easy run until Christmas. I like how we've played City. I want the system to be tested. I want the players to be tested. I want other players to be found out. I want a couple of players to go in January and a couple to come in, hopefully. Do you know what I mean? January's tricky. Yeah. I also don't mind. I'm patient for the season to watch some players struggle this season because then it's so easy in the summer to be like, I've seen you over 20, 30 games and I know you're not good enough. You don't fit anything. You know
I think we have Spurs, Bournemouth, and then we're away at Wolves. Then we play Newcastle at home, and then we have a trip to Anfield and a trip to the Emirates in the FA Cup back to back.
Yeah, well, this is what it's about being
trip to Anfield and trip to Emirates back to back.
Yeah, that Arsenal game's coming at the right time, to get some payback with them. Yeah.
We got a chance. Well, people, we're going to close out. Love to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you subscribe to all the man them as well. Hit the like button, subscribe on here. I've already let them know what you got coming up on Red United TV, all that good stuff.
Of course, guys. Watch the podcast, yesterday's podcast. And of course, we've got the watching on against Spurs on Thursday, and the weekend game against Bournemouth is what it is, man. Subscribe to Red United TV, but most importantly, subscribe to Sarcasm City. It is what it is, man. Big up to everyone that's tuning in today, man. Another show. Happy to talk about Marcus Rashford leaving. Happy to talk about Arsenal as well being shit, and manager talking about their 2 dinner plate. And of course, happy to the fact that we beat Manchester City, bruv. That's what it is, man. Manchester's red. You see the smile on my face? It's been hard times. You don't see the smile too tough. You don't. You don't. But yes, big up to everyone.
Because they're being positive, you know what I'm saying? Because United actually playing well. But hey, we moved. Sheik, let them know what you got coming up, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. Big up to everyone on the panel as well. Thank you for having me, of course, every single time. Big up to the chat. Make sure you guys smash the like and obviously subscribe to everyone, including especially Sarcasm City TV. In terms of me, you can find me on Sheik TV on YouTube. I should be dropping a video tomorrow. It's actually going to be about Marcus Rashford and just his time at United. So definitely tune into that. And then Spurs game should be a match reaction I'll have for that. And then weekend Bournemouth, you already know. Sarcasm City TV playback. We do a watch along over there, man. So definitely go follow there. Yeah, big up.
Leon, man, I know we got coming up. Obviously, working in the boxing world and that's big promoter from the UK. I see you shining, fam.
No, I'm a media guy. Relax.
You're not going into the promoting side of things now.
Makes the promotion. You know what? Someone's asked me the other day. To be fair, I'm thinking about it. Maybe it's tricky.
Yeah, see, so it's onto something. It's kind of like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You should do it genuinely all bullshit aside. 100%.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
You're the guy. You know what I'm saying? Because you a talker. I could see you on the interviews. And
what with the stopping and flipping the table? Crazy.
I'm not flipping the table. Talking about the interviews and that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. No, I do interview fighters. To be fair, I do a little bit with some brand work and that. But catch me at Leon's Reality, and also if you are in the UK and you're near London, just outside, follow NLB November Lima Bravo.uk. That's my running club community. And we're doing some big things over there in it. So in the new year, we're going to be doing some good collaborations with some brands that you know. And yeah, that's it for me, really. Everyone have a blessed Christmas. That's what I'd say. Do you know what I'm saying? Eat lots of good food. I'm sure Arsenal will lose again over that period, and we'll be here to watch it, innit?
Yeah, facts. Eddie, anything you want to add, fam?
Maybe we can go on Amazon and order some fake community shields and have our Christmas dinner on the minute.
Yeah. Facts. No, 100%.
Facts. That's fact.
100%.
Yo, Eddie, anything you want to add, fam?
Shout out to my dog. Yeah, man. Shout out to my dogs on the panel. Leon,
you sounded low, Eddie.
I know you've been. Oh, am I?
Yeah.
What's he doing? Why is he?
I think he's probably at work.
He's on the move. Right. Yeah, he's on the move. That's what it sounds like. You lot continue to run up the likes here. Don't forget this show, all the other shows on the channel. apart from watch-alongs and the fan calling show, are available on all audio platforms as well. So everyone doing their Spotify wrap-ups, if you have Spotify, search Sarcasm City TV, hit the follow, 5-star us. Same with iTunes, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or wherever you listen to podcast, people, wherever
You got me
listen
now?
to podcasts. Yeah, that's better.
Yes,
Ready,
Eddie.
go.
Well gone.
No, I had my headphones in.
Oh, good fam.
I'm in an undisclosed location. I didn't want to sound too loud, but yeah. Shout out
He's in the
to
same trap that we just took over, man. That's what it is.
yeah, man. Yeah, birds is chirping. Hey, hint, hint. Birds is chirping. Shout out my dogs on the panel. Shout out Leon. I seen you. You came back. You know, it's good to have you back, man. You've been running up and down the UK. Running up and down behind my Kenyan sisters. I seen the flags in my rap. We'll move.
Oh.
Shout out my dog Sheik, real one, Ivorian, real one, of course, and the one and only El Jefe, my dog Flawless, man. So it's always good to be here.
Blessings, man. Blessings. Always good chopping up. It is great. Talking about Manchester Derby winning the deserved win at their place. We are going to close out. I'm live with rants in a couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah. Big up.
People. So big love to everyone that slots in. Love to everyone that has indeed slots in. This has been the Man Them United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. And see you lot at 11:30 p.m. Man Them United podcast, Man Them City podcast with Gator. You know it's going to be a good one. Big.